It's off exit 10, presented by Capital District Sport and Fitness.
So we'll just put up clips, and then we have all the videos. So probably one day we'll toss them up and do them.
Yeah, we have them all in the bank somewhere.
Yeah. So
well, Mike does.
So we'll use them at some point. No, Tay, but I appreciate you coming on, man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you thinking about me.
Yeah, man. So when did you start up doing your camps with the kids in this area?
So I started doing the basketball camps when I was 19.
So you were when you were at Siena?
No, I was I was still in high school.
Oh.
I actually just graduated. So it was like when I was 18 years old, I graduated, and then that's when I started doing my camps in Kingston. I didn't start doing my camps and programs in the capital region until after I graduated from Siena.
Okay.
So there was a little 4-year gap in between, but for the most part, starting programs at that young, it's a big deal, because I'm still a kid myself.
Right.
So I had to figure it out. I started to realize I was a role model, and I wanted to do something that I love to do, which was helping kids, and I just felt like that was a great little start. And I had my JV coach, his name is Mark Weinkoop. He also helped me with the process, and we kind of been doing it since. So it's always great to be able to start something with someone who helped you as a young kid, and we're still close friends. He's like a father figure to me. It's good to still have that relationship, and it didn't tarnish in any way, as we continue to help each other.
Yeah, that's important. I mean, the youth sports landscape is crazy. I started working in this field in 2011 when I was in Springfield, where I went to college at a gym similar to this. And I just felt it then. I don't know if it was because I was young and I didn't really have experiences yet or grasp, what was going on in youth sports. But I felt like kids play, say football in the fall and basketball in the winter and baseball in the spring, and they'd lift weights a couple times a week and then put it on repeat. And now it's like crazy travel programs, right? The competitive nature of that, which has went from, trickling down from you're a junior in high school trying to hustle during your summer to get seen, to all of a sudden now you have 8th graders, 7th graders,
8-year-olds,
6th graders, 8-year-olds, that are kind of forced into this competitive landscape, which hurts relationships, whether that's with coaches or parents, hurts their relationship with their sport. Is that stuff that you think about when you're in front of kids and you're trying to teach the love of the game? And
I'll be honest with you, I just do what I do. I don't really think about what other people do. I don't think about this new path that's happening. I just do what I feel is right. That doesn't make it right, but at the same time, I can only teach what I know from experience. And with my experience and where I grew up, the hard work I had to put in, the dreaming, the working out when people aren't around, putting my headphones on and using basketball as a tool to be in a place that I've never dreamed of. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just love to just hear a basketball dribble. Sometimes I just want to just put my headphones on and just go. Those things still don't stop. It's my therapy. Even to this day, basketball is still my therapy. I will go out and just dribble. I'll wake up, be upset for whatever reason. Maybe my wife's mad because I ain't take out the trash or something. I don't know. Go at it. I go shoot. I go dribble. I come back, and I'm just a completely different person. And now she started to learn, okay, this is Tay's therapy. This is what he needs. And you know what? Somebody else, their therapy might be talking to a friend. It might be seeing somebody, a third party of somebody who doesn't know. I don't know. Everybody's way of releasing is just a little bit different. So I try to teach my kids, and when I say my kids, I mean the people in my programs. Just use basketball as your tool. Use it as an outlet to get away. It has to be your happy place. If you have a bad day in school, if you're struggling with a friendship or relationship, whatever it is, go on the basketball court, man, and just forget about it and just have a good time. Take care of it afterwards. But if you bring all of that negativity on the basketball court, it's going to be a bad experience. Next thing you know, you're going to foul out, because you're angry. Right. Next thing you know, you're yelling at your friends. Whatever the case is, if you do not leave that all out there, the basketball court is not going to become that safe place for you anymore. And that's what I just try to teach them, is that it's going to always be that safe place.
Yeah, well, when was the first age that you played competitive basketball? In like in a league, structured? Structured. 13. 13.
Yeah.
Kids hear that now, they're probably like,
yeah, no.
13.
Now, I played at the Boys and Girls Club, and I played on the Boys and Girls Club team, but it was free,
But there's something to be said about that.
Yes.
A lot to be said about that.
There's a lot to be said about that, because when you're free, you grow. And that's where all my growth came from. From 9 to 12 or 13 years old, it was just happy. I knew when I messed up, but I didn't have to tell nobody that. Nobody had to tell me that.
Right.
But then now when I'm 13 and I'm putting on a Kingston uniform as an 8th grader, things are a little different. They taught me how to set a screen. They taught me all of the basic stuff that you would think I already knew how to do. I didn't know how to do anything but just score and just love the game. But that's where it starts from. It starts from loving the game first. Once you love the game, the easy part is learning it. But when you start to think you know it all, you can't be taught.
Right.
You can't be taught. And I never thought that. So as a young kid, I'm watching the Knicks with my dad, and he's showing me Allen Houston shooting the basketball, and he'd be like, man, you see that form? It's just so pure. It's so nice. He'll slow it down for me. We're watching Charles Oakley. We're watching Patrick Ewing. We're watching Larry Johnson. Most of these people don't know who I'm talking about.
That was a squad.
But at the same time, though, I am watching the Knicks, and I'm like, wow, this is my connection with my dad. This is what I love to do. Let's go shoot. Let's go do this. Let's do that. Now, all of a sudden, I'm starting to love it without even knowing that I love it. And I'm starting to notice that now even with my son. Like, he loves basketball, but he doesn't know he loves it. He just knows that's his connection with daddy. It has to start somewhere.
Right.
It has to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and, thinking of something that I was watching recently, I know Mike watched it a little bit. I don't know if he finished it, but the J.R. Smith documentary, I don't know if you watched that.
No, I didn't.
It's very good. But one of the things he said, he's like, I didn't start playing basketball to make money. He's like, I started playing basketball because I loved basketball. He's like, I wanted to play in the NBA, not because I wanted to be famous or make money, because that's where the best basketball players were. And it's like, that's what drove him. And that's what drives, I think, 90% of the professional athletes. You have some that are driven by other things.
Backtrack it and think what drives a high school athlete, now a middle school athlete. Like, when was the first time in your head you started thinking about college scholarship for playing basketball?
I didn't think that way until I was in 11th grade.
Right.
I didn't think, and that's only because I started to realize my potential. And then people were like, wow, Tay, you can go to college. Wow, you could do this. And then I got on the Albany City Rocks, who's a very infamous team around the area in the capital region. And then now all of a sudden I'm in the Boo Williams tournament in Virginia. I'm in the Peach Jam in Georgia. I'm in Florida. Now I'm like going to all these other places and I'm doing good. And I'm like, wow, maybe you're right. And then now I'm getting all these letters and everything. And then I scored 61 points against Albany High. And then now I'm getting more letters. So I never really thought about college. I was just playing basketball. I don't think people understand that. It's scary when someone just plays it to love it. You're scared. It's scary because you're like, I don't think he really understands how good he's going to be.
Right.
He'll notice at some point.
He'll realize it.
He'll realize it at some point. And that was just how it worked out for me.
Yeah, I think your ceiling is higher when you're playing to just love it, and I think your potential of burnout is significantly less. Lower. Like, I grew up playing baseball. That was my sport. Paul and I played some basketball too.
We were on the basketball team.
We got a few minutes here and there, but baseball was my sport. And probably in, I don't know, late middle school, start putting some pressure on myself. You go 0 for 3. You're like, shit, I can't hit, and that snowballs. Right, and then I kind of grind myself through high school and play, like still putting pressure on myself. Like, looking back, was very anxious and didn't know really what those feelings were or how to address that around sports. And then rode whatever skills I had into 2 years of college baseball. And then come my junior year, I go into fall ball, and it just all kind of catches up to me. I play week 1, I play week 2. I think it's like 6 weeks. By week 3, I'm like, this shit isn't fun. Like, this is not what it used to be. And then that was that. I think the next week I went to the coach's office, and I was like, hey, it's just, this isn't for me anymore. I'm burnt out. I'm not enjoying it. And it's just that love that slowly kind of drifts away because of pressures that you put on yourself.
Yeah, and even when I was younger, another thing, and I have to say it, is the parents, man. I hate to have to say that, but like my dad never really pressured me. He would come to my games. He would sit in the corner by himself. Nobody even knew what he looked like because they never heard him.
Right.
When he would talk to me was when we got in the car, when we got home. That was the only time he would talk to me and say, Tay, you need to do better with this. You need to do that. But he was never on that court yelling at me. He never made me feel no type of way. And I never really, and I always used to be upset, like, man, like, why does all the other parents do it? Does my dad not love me? Like, what is going on? But now I realize what he did now that I'm in this field of being an adult and I'm seeing it happen. Some parents are out of control. And now I appreciate my dad being the way he is. He's like, if you want to do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. And those private conversations made me appreciate what he did because I never felt embarrassed. I always took it in. I understood. And I want to kind of be that same way with my son. At the end of the day, though, my path is a little different. I'm not going to say my dad doesn't have the basketball knowledge, but going to Siena, doing so great, having these records, playing on the Globetrotters, my basketball knowledge is a little different. But at the end of the day, though, I want to model that same thing. And I just want him to just enjoy it and love it. And when he wants to do it, let's do it. But I don't want to be that parent that just takes the love away from him because you know what? Even when I had some things going on with my fourth graders, because I coach a fourth grade team, and the game was getting real tight, they were getting real anxious. They were crying. They were, which comes with the game of basketball, but it's just, you hear whistles, you hear parents yelling, you hear your coach yelling, you hear the other coach yelling, you hear this. It can get very anxious at times. And I had to bring him in. Like, I was relaxed as a coach. Good, we got this, relax. So once they see me relax, they're like, okay, we're in a good space here. We got this. So I always try to be the person that they can always look at, not only for them, for anybody. And just when you've been there and you've done it before, it's a little different, and that's all I try to teach these kids, man, is that just trust me. I don't ever say trust the process. I say trust Tay.
Yeah.
Trust Tay. The process is Tay is going to be a part of the process, right? But you need somebody to trust for you to know that you are in this process, all right? Because the process can go up and down, up and down, up and down. But if Tay's there and you trust me, that up and down is not going to be so far down. You're going to always be even keel, and you're going to say, okay, cool, we got this.
It's that steadiness that you provide for them, like regardless of how high or low they get throughout the process, like there's that one constant.
Yeah, you got to be. Jordan said this about our friend Cody, who was on an earlier podcast. He just goes, or maybe Cody said it about you, Jay. He goes, he's just a consistent person. Like, I know what I'm going to get when I'm with Cody.
Right. That's like
he's a consistent person. I think that's so important as you
just in life,
as you go through life. Right. And now you're a parent. How old is your son?
He's 3.
And you got a daughter coming?
Come on, man. Let's wait for the end to talk about that.
Listen, we'll get into it right now. We get into it right now, man.
No, but you know what? That consistency is key, man. I didn't know how important consistency was until I got on the Globetrotters. Because on the Globetrotters, you have to be consistent every night. Siena, we played twice a week. Whatever, once a week. During the Christmas break, we have no games. Globetrotters, every night, sometimes twice a day.
Yeah.
So like, you got to be consistent. There's days that I'm like, man, my knee hurts. Man, my arm hurts. Man, I didn't get much rest. Man, somebody can die, lose somebody in your family. But when you go out there, they don't know what you are going through. You got to bring it. They paid their money for you. That ain't no different than a wrestler or anybody. People just don't understand we are humans as well.
Yeah.
But when we go out there, it taught me how to be consistent. And then it taught me how to when it taught me that consistency, I ended up being a better person. Now I'm a better husband, a better friend, a better father, because I'm used to that consistency now. And even if I have bad days, I know how to snap out of it.
Right.
I know how to say, okay, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, people, again, that's basketball teaching me life lessons.
Right.
I struggled in the beginning. My first year, I struggled.
Struggle work with the Globetrotters?
Just the whole mental part of it.
How many games are you playing a year with the Globetrotters when you're on the road?
I don't know how many games off the top of my head, but
Or how long
'cause
you
it
on the
would
road
change.
for?
But I would say I always left right before Thanksgiving to go entertain the troops, because we would always go entertain the troops around Thanksgiving. So we would alternate between the Middle East, Europe, and Asia. We would always alternate. And then I didn't come home until June. And then from June to, I guess you want to say, Thanksgiving will be here and there. You leave for 2 weeks to go here, then you come home for it. Then you leave and then you come home. But consistently, just gone for, 8 months.
And that's what, 10 years of your life?
It was tough.
But that's
man.
wild.
That's a
I mean, it's an incredible opportunity, I'm sure, just to see places and to meet people and to.
It doesn't get any better. I mean, doing it, I didn't think of it was a big deal. But now doing it now, knowing where I'm at, knowing I got a family, I couldn't do it.
right.
I couldn't do it. It was too hard. It
Time
was too
and
hard.
place, you know?
Yeah.
Time and place.
But it was great experience. And it went by, I don't want to say it went by fast, but I'm on a team with a whole bunch of players that come from similar background to me, and we became brothers. So when you're on that road with your family, with your brothers, man, it's a fun time. We looked out for each other. We understood where we're coming from. We learned about each other's culture. And I don't want to just say culture, but someone from New York is totally different than someone from Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Someone from Detroit is totally different from someone from LA. So like we ended up learning each other's lingo and the way we dress and the way we talk. And it was amazing. And they're still my brothers. And at the same time, we all had girls and females on the team as well. So now we got to be brothers for them because they're on the road. So you think it's hard for a man, it's hard for a woman being on the road for 8 months out of the year. So we just embraced her and made her feel comfortable. And
How many women were on the team when you were there?
we had, all right, so with the Globetrotters, there's 3 teams.
I was trying to figure out because I went and saw them in December. I brought my niece.
To the one at the MVP arena.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that team, we have an East Coast, West Coast, and then we got a team that kind of does a little bit of both and then go to Europe.
Okay.
So somebody might say, hey, Tay, I'm coming to see you in Seattle. But I'm like, no, I am in, Albany, for example, you know. So it started off with just one female, and then all of a sudden each team had a female.
Yeah.
Because people want to see the female, right? So I was blessed to play with at least 5 or 6 of them. Awesome.
Yeah.
Man, the way the girls respond to the female, it's just amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That was one of the things I loved about going was that they're like I'm watching and I'm like, oh, there's a girl on the team. And I'm with my niece, so I'm like, this is awesome. And then she was balling, which was awesome. And then like afterwards, you get to do like the pictures and everything. And I was like, we're getting at least one, and we're going down and we're getting hers. And like we did and everything. And she loved it. She was awesome.
Yeah,
and whatnot. Like
one of the highlights of my years playing with the Globetrotters was playing with a female. No professional team has that.
No.
Right.
But that's the beauty of what we do. 90. I don't even know what it is now that I've been gone for X amount of years, probably like 95 years, 96 years of the Globetrotters being around and only X amount of females. I mean, so all of that long time, I'm blessed to be able to have that little time with the female because it wasn't like we had it from the beginning.
Right.
They're great players, great people.
How'd you get into the Globetrotters? We'll talk about like Siena years at some point here.
Yeah.
But how'd you end up with them?
So they must have saw me in the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
And they've been following me throughout my senior year, and they drafted me in 2008.
So it's a draft?
It's a draft.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously they have, with the way social media is now, you could just find people, boom.
Yeah.
Right.
Easy now.
Like you see somebody's profile, they're hitting crazy shots. You're like, okay.
Nice tags, because now you could tag people now and everything, and it's easy to find people that can jump out the gym or that have some type of crazy.
You watch N1 mixtape stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that was the best.
Yeah.
I used to watch them. Yeah. And, with the Globetrotters, they just saw the personality in me on the court, even at Siena. Like, I'm the type of person that would smack the referee on the butt. No technical, thank you. But,
good game. I'm not trying to be,
I'm that person that will come out, be energetic, still showcase my skills, but have a personality out there. But I look back into my childhood and everything. I was always like that. Even at Kingston High School in the yearbook, I'm like most likely to succeed, but also class clown. I mean, those go hand in hand. Now, that's a Globetrotter right there without even knowing I would be a Globetrotter. And then I was the leader on the team for Siena. I did everything. And then the Globetrotters just saw me and they said, let's give you a chance. And they did in 2008. I went to Phoenix, Arizona. And I was there with probably 4 other players. They never called me back. People didn't even know I didn't even make the team my first year. I started going to the College of St. Rose thinking my basketball career was over, which happens to a lot of people. Not everybody continues playing basketball. And then the Globetrotters gave me another chance in 2009, and I took advantage of it, and I did even better. And then all of a sudden, I started my career right there. So I played from 2009 to 2019, and the best times of my life. And to be honest with you, being cut from the team, I don't even want to say being cut, not making it my first time around, I think it made me appreciate the second opportunity.
Do they have an idea of what they want from you when you're going in there? Like, this is Tay, like he's gonna have to hit the deep shots and have the handles. That's who he's gonna be.
Yeah. So they knew I could shoot. Now they said, okay, we see more in you. We're gonna turn you into that Curly Neal type player. You already got the ball head. You already got the smile. We already got this. And then Curly Neal ended up being my mentor. Man, I mean, it's just amazing to think about it, being in his presence, having long nights with him, and he's teaching me the history and telling me the things he had to go through when he was on the team.
And he's the guy who was on the first ever Globetrotters team?
He was on Gilligan's Island. He was on Scooby-Doo. Now, the Globetrotters started in 1926.
Scooby-Doo was my show, man.
Scooby-Doo was the shit.
I know. So, it's crazy to be able to be like, man, I'm with a legend. Going to the games, he come, people clap 15 minutes straight. I'm like, oh my God, are we going to stop clapping?
When are we going to play?
Yeah, when are we going to play? But that shows the appreciation of him and understanding the history behind it. And it was amazing, Definitely I'm happy that my path is different than others.
Right.
Either you can go play overseas or you can go to the NBA. Herder, for example, went to the NBA. Doesn't happen all the time. But there's a lot of people that get that chance to go overseas.
Right.
But there ain't that many that can be a Globetrotter.
Were you ever like, okay, after senior year of college, you're like, okay, I'm going to give the NBA a shot. Or if not, I'm going to sign overseas.
No, I tried to go overseas. I did. I tried. We reached out to people. Just didn't work out. Even one of my good friends, his name is Keith Simmons. He played at Kingston High School with me and then went to Holy Cross. He was already playing in Germany at that time. He was like, come over with me and we'll see if we can help you find something. Sometimes I'm a little, I don't know, I'm weird sometimes, so I was just like, nah, I would love to, but if I can't do it myself, maybe I need to move in another direction. And he understood.
And you were never angry or bitter, like, hey, overseas didn't work, NBA didn't work, or what? That wasn't there.
Yeah, I was upset because I did want to play professionally. I did want to make money at that point to provide for my family. Right. I, at that point, I sacrificed so much. I made it where I wanted to. I just wanted to get that experience. Then the Globetrotters called me, and it's like, what? Like, what's going on? The kid that couldn't even leave his porch step because of the environment and the community I lived in, been to 75 countries. It's like I and even to this day, even though I retired in 2019, I still haven't actually sat down and appreciated it yet because I'm still on the go.
That's like a gift and it's like a gift and a curse, It's like, because what got you to where you're at was probably, I'm just gonna keep going.
Gonna keep going.
And it's hard to sit back and reflect when that's you. Like, Keep going, you'll keep going.
You'll keep going. And I know people always ask, well, do you wish you played overseas? And I say, no. You want to know why? I don't care if it's more money overseas. I don't care about that. Sometimes you can go overseas and be forgotten. I'm just going to be honest. This is just the way I look at things. Obviously, you won't get forgotten if you're in the NBA because we see you on TV.
Yeah.
But overseas, you can make millions of dollars. You can win multiple championships. But while that's happening, life is still happening for other people. So they're like, oh, how is he doing? Oh, wow, that's good. Globetrotters kept my name in the community as if I stopped playing college basketball last year. So people are like, man, I still remember them Siena years. And I'm like, dude, that was 15 years. Like, can't believe how long ago it was. But you know what? I still played I still played at the Time Junior Center or the MVP Arena, whatever it was called at the time. You know, I still played there. I still had people from my community come. I have 8-year-olds talking about Tay Fisher. They weren't even born when I was playing at Siena, but they remember me from the Globetrotters. So I'm very happy that I took that path and I didn't follow nothing else but my path.
You didn't follow a traditional path.
I followed the path. I didn't chase money. I didn't chase nothing. I said, this is me. When you're a Globetrotter, they're picking you not for your basketball skills. It got to be your personality. Because some people can be great basketball players, but they cannot have a good personality. Then you don't match it. You gotta, it's like a total package, right?
But you're a wrestling fan.
You have to, right?
Yeah. When I'm like, oh, you know what? He's a wrestling fan. That makes sense, though. It's like the Globetrotter, you're physically displaying your skills, but you're also putting on a performance. You're a character to a degree.
Big wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Still till this day, I am a huge wrestling fan.
Like Jay, we never got into it big time. We had friends that did.
Yeah,
No, Paul, you?
I was like, when I was younger, I mean, I own everything The Rock.
Yeah, true.
Literally everything I own is like The Rock.
Well, obviously, I grew up again, I'm a young kid. I grew up as Hulk Hogan fan.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan was
but who didn't? At that age, he was.
Even if you weren't a wrestling fan, you were a Hulk Hogan fan.
Like Hulk Hogan fan, eat your vitamins, all of that stuff, and I'm just pop. But Hulk Hogan, and then, I was a big Macho Man. Again, but as I'm getting older, because I did take a little break from wrestling. I think it's because basketball and everything started getting busy for me.
Yeah.
Even with like track, I used to run track, but then I started doing AAU. It's almost like sports ended up taking over all of the things I used to like. So I hit a phase where I kind of got away from wrestling. But at the same time, though, then I started loving The Rock, and loving Stone Cold, and loving Triple H, and all of those people. It's like, and I still love it. And I have players on my team that we talk about it all the time. We would be in, I don't know, I'm just going to say Poland, for example, and watching WrestleMania. I mean, Wi-Fi is crap.
Yeah.
But we're just like, he got it on his phone, I got it on my phone, we got it in the event. And we're up at, because being at these different countries, sometimes it's a time difference. So we could be up in, for example, Australia could be a 12-hour time difference, and we're just tired. And here it's 8 o'clock, there it's whatever, the next day. But we're just enjoying it, man. And it's always fun, Those entertainments, you don't appreciate them until something like COVID hit.
Yeah.
Once COVID hit, we had nothing.
Yeah.
We had nothing. So when I can watch a Globetrotter game and it can make me smile, I'll do that. When I can watch wrestling and it can still keep me energized, I'll appreciate it.
Remember when COVID hit and then you'd watch like a TV show and they'd show, so everything was shut down, and they'd show like an arena of people, and you're like, is it ever going to be like that again? Like, remember those days?
Yeah.
I was watching old ones just to get the feel of it.
Yeah.
Just to get the feel of the energy. Like Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior, one of the worst matches. But you know what? It was one of the best matches, because first of all, it was loud people. And back then, they had all the colors on,
Oh, yeah.
People don't understand, like, those colors are, like, vibrant.
Right.
So it makes you smile,
Yeah.
And that's what I do even with my programs. I don't like white shirts, all the time. I don't like
what you
black.
say? I see kids in here, they got, like, the teal
There you
or,
go.
like, the green.
Yep.
Yeah, always.
I like vibrant things, especially in the summer, because I like it to pop.
Yeah, feels good, though.
Make you feel good, when you wear it. So that's just the way I am. And then being on the Globetrotters, like, come on, we put on our red, white, and blue Globetrotter. You have no choice but to say, what is he wearing? or who is that?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's just the way I am, man. And I mean, my path is different. It's great. I love it. I appreciate it. And I'm just happy that it can't be duplicated by nobody else. I can't be thankful enough to be able to appreciate the path, the ups and downs.
The ups and downs, yeah. I'm trying to think, my only wrestling experience is John Cena went to Springfield College.
He did.
Where I went to college. He played football there, probably early 2000s or late 90s. And there's no way this still happens, because when I was in college in 2009 was my first year. There were cell phones, but it wasn't like social media like it's
Instagram.
now.
Instagram was created when we were in college.
Yeah, but whatever. It wasn't like people weren't sharing like they are now.
No.
But every year, John Cena would come back. He'd park
Yep.
his big tour bus in the senior parking lot. He'd lift with the football team. He'd give a speech to the football team. He'd go to a game, and then that night he'd go out to the townhouses and he'd party. So I remember walking into a townhouse, like, you see, John Cena's in this one, and everybody goes in, and there he is, big fucking dude, wearing like short camo shorts, wearing Crocs, just drinking PBRs and playing beer pong.
And he was
just
probably
like
an inch and a half taller than you.
Just like a normal dude, yeah, but big dude. But you're like, holy shit, like there's John Cena.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, even people like John Cena, even though he's not like on my top, he's on my top when it comes down to the community work.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, he's Make-A-Wish Foundation, everything he's done.
He's like number one for Make-A-Wish.
He's like number one. You know, like, but as a Globetrotter, we're ambassadors as well. So we're going into the schools, we're going to hospitals, we're doing all the things that people don't see than what they only see on the court stuff.
Yeah.
But that off the court stuff is so important.
Make-A-Wish is great. There was last night in the NFL draft, Jay, there was a kid, I don't know how I hadn't heard this story before. There's a kid from Ghent, this little town where we grew up, who had some type of cancer.
He had bone cancer.
Bone cancer. And he called out the first pick for the Jets last night through Make-A-Wish.
And it was, I watched the draft because I'm obsessed with football, and I was watching it. My mom had texted me.
Yeah.
And told me this kid was doing it, and I went on like the Facebook page for him, and he went there. He got to go to like their training facility, met like Sauce Gardner, like a bunch of different players. The energy he brought was unbelievable.
See?
Like, it was so unbelievable. Like, Patrick Mahomes, like, on Twitter was like, "Yo, Kyle, way to bring that energy to like the draft." Like, da-da-da. Like, it was really cool. Like, just to see that.
See, that's the type of stuff right there that I think means the most. Means the most. On the court stuff, you could be great at, man, but if you can't connect and you can't be personable and you can't impact people in a positive way, to me, you ain't doing it right. You ain't doing it right.
Yeah, especially as a Globetrotter going out there and you want to connect with this kid that's in the
That's the first thing I do. As soon as I go out there, I already know what kid I'm gonna start connecting with.
Like, you're looking around before.
I already know. I already know. And most of the time, and not most of the time, but sometimes they might have my jersey on or something, so they already made the connection with me, so they're showing me or something like that. I always try to make a connection with people, man, because that's what it's about. You want people leaving feeling good, saying, man, like, Tay's my friend. Firefly's my friend. Oh, man, you saw this, you saw that.
Yeah, where's that was your Globetrotter name. Where's that come from? Firefly. Who gave you that?
They did. So everybody has a nickname. So they call me Firefly because they said, you know, I light it up on the court. It's with my dribbling, with my shooting, with my smile. Like, so they said, your responsibility is to light it up every night. I mean, pressure, right? Yeah. Talking about pressure, right? But I didn't like it in the beginning. I'm like, this is weird.
You're like, do I have to be
You know
Firefly?
what I mean? Like, Firefly's butts light up. Like, what am I light up? You know? But then after a while, I'm like, nah, this is good. Because, you know, on the other team, you know, we have somebody named, you know, Ant or Moose or, you know, Hot Shot, Spider. Like, so everybody has a nickname. I loved it. It's great, you know? So I owned up to it. And I'm happy that they gave me that nickname because I think that everybody enjoyed it. Besides when they try to butcher it or something, you know, like we'll be in China and they're like, hey, fruit fly, fruit fly, fruit fly.
You're like, I'm not a fruit fly.
You know, or I don't know, they go fire flea, fire flea, fire flea. You know, it doesn't matter. Either way, I'm turning around, I'm responding to, you know. But you know when it's real when someone says Tay, you know, at the games or something, Tay, you know. So I'm just like, you know.
You know what's crazy too is like, okay, whatever. You're in an NCAA tournament game with Siena. Like, you pull up to shoot a three. Like, Like, yeah, maybe Tay will make it, but maybe he won't. And, like, if he doesn't, okay, Tay didn't make his 3. But, like, Globetrotters, you pull up for a shot, they're like, this is going in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it taught me the consistency. We work on it every night, every day. And with the Globetrotters, it's entertainment too. So if we miss it, I'll just act like I hurt my shoulder. I'm like, you know, but, you know, no matter, you know, because, the Globetrotters is a great introduction to basketball because it teaches people to have fun. Mm-hmm. It might look like it's easy to us, but trust me, it is not easy. I didn't know how to spin the ball on my finger when I got on the Globetrotters. I had to learn that stuff. I had to learn how to do that and spin it on my head and spin it around my body. I had to get the ball comfortable on my body, catching it on my neck, putting it up in the rim. Like, that stuff takes hours and days and years,
I'm sure,
to learn. It's like learning basketball all over again. But that's the commitment that I had to make if I wanted to be great. And now, spinning the ball on my finger and doing all that stuff, that's the connection. Mm-hmm. Without me even speaking a word. I can spin the ball, and I promise you I can make people smile without even saying a word. That's the power of basketball. Mm-hmm. That's the power of the Globetrotters, and that's the power that I have over, you know, others, or should I say from the game of basketball, that I can share with people for the rest of my life.
You could literally be standing in the middle of a court just with a ball on your finger, and somebody's going to come over to you. Immediately. Let
me tell you something real quick, and I know I don't really say this to many people, but when I introduce myself or I meet people, I don't even tell them I'm a Globetrotter. Because I've learned from the beginning of when I started, they immediately start to treat me right. They start to treat me with respect. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a Globetrotter memory. Yeah. So all of a sudden they start treating. So I don't tell people because I want them to start respecting me and liking me for who I am. So one day I just didn't tell anybody, and I knew them for months. And then all of a sudden he says, well, why didn't you tell me you were a Globetrotter? And I said, well, I didn't think I needed to. You know, like, right. I wanted you to like me for me. I want to see how you're going to treat me as an individual before I start telling you and you could have easily just Googled my name if you wanted to. But at the same time, though, I don't want to say, hi, my name's Tay Fisher. I'm a Harlem Globetrotter. Like, no, like, I'm not Firefly. Right. You know, I'm Tay.
Well, to you're much deeper and more complex of a person than Firefly.
Much more, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, but that's the way I am. I like people to, even when at my camps, I don't go there and do tricks. I don't do that. I never did it when I started 19 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I go there, I don't even do tricks. I just have fun with them, and they love me for me. And if I want to do one later, I do it. But I don't go there and just do tricks all day, every day. That's not it. That's not how I pull people in. I pull people in because they got to love what I do, and they got to love who I am. And that's it, you know? I do enough spinning that basketball at my house for my son all day, you know? Like, I'm going to have arthritis in my hands real soon, man. It's going to be crazy. But it's good, though. I love it. I love it.
This episode of Off Exit 10 is brought to you by Drink Alchemy. Fatigue and brain fog affect us all, destroying everything we pursue. Whether as an athlete, artist, creator, or entrepreneur, our mind holds the key to performing optimally. By combining the most potent organic nootropics found in nature, Drink Alchemy delivers sustainable boost to creativity, memory, energy, and focus in one epic beverage. Stop pumping your body full of excessive amounts of caffeine and unknown proprietary blends from other energy drinks, and get clean energy from Drink Alchemy's natural nootropics like lion's mane, L-theanine, and caffeine from green tea. Used by Olympians, D1 athletes, MMA fighters, and entrepreneurs, Drink Alchemy has become a huge part of my daily routine, making sure I'm functioning optimally during long days of coaching athletes, running CDSF, and getting in quality workouts myself. So do yourself a favor and ditch the energy drinks loaded with caffeine, other stimulants, and who knows what else, and head over to drinkalchemy.com today. Live with your mind unbound and save 10% off your order by using code CDSF at checkout. That's drinkalchemy.com, promo code CDSF for 10% off your order today. Yeah, I love to, because you finish your undergrad at Siena.
I did.
Yep.
And then you went to St. Rose.
Then I went to St. Rose, yes.
And you're what? Master's in education?
Yeah. So I got my bachelor's in psychology and my master's in education. And I was doing that while I was on the Globetrotters.
Oh, so you were getting your master's while you were on the Globetrotters?
Yeah, because I started off going to St. Rose, then the Globetrotters reached out to me.
So you started that already?
Yeah, so then I stopped and then continued on. So I was coming home in the summer, taking classes every once in a while, trying to complete it. Took me 10 years to complete it, but...
Consistency.
I had to. Like, I'm that person, when I start, I don't stop. For example, that's why I didn't leave Siena when my coach got fired. I stayed. Everybody else left because I'm that type of person that when I say yes, I am all in and I'm not going anywhere. And that's just the way I was when I even was on the Globetrotters. I had to finish, man. Come on, like, so many people in my neighborhood that didn't get a chance to finish school. I'm going to go ahead and finish high school, college, and I'm going to go further. I'm going to make people say, yeah, he was the real deal. And then now I'm setting the tone for my family now. I'm the first one to graduate from college. First one to get a Division I scholarship. First one to play professional basketball. The first one to get my master's. Now, I'm not here to say to my son, you got to do what I do, or, you know, my daughter that'll be born in September, you got to do what I do. I just want them to see, okay, daddy did this.
Yeah.
I can do this.
It's possible.
It's possible because my parents, they stopped at high school. So again, different years, different generations, different times, everything. But the whole purpose as a parent is for your kids to do better and to keep doing better and don't stop. So if I can do that, I'm headed in the right direction.
Well, and like you're providing, you know, your parents provided you with that hard work mentality, right?
Definitely
They didn't know, oh, you can accomplish. They didn't know as much, or at least our parents didn't know as much about, oh, you can do stuff with your brain. Like, you don't need to just work hard. You're providing that opportunity, like, yeah, you got to work hard, but you also can accomplish things with your brain or with other things in your life. Like, it doesn't have to be just brute force and brute hard work. Like,
Doesn't have to
It's going to be hard work, but it doesn't have to be like brute physical labor.
And you know what's funny is, man, I mean, my son's 15 years from now, it's going to look different. Everything's going to be different, man.
Oh, yeah.
This world is crazy. It's different. It's hard, but this is what we're preparing our boys and our kids and even these people that we train. Like, we're preparing them for that. While also staying on track with it. Like, I don't want to lose myself. All right, I don't want to say lose myself, but I got to stay updated as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, even with the Globetrotters, we knew every newest trend. We knew all the music. We knew everything. So we was able to connect with kids. So now I don't want to lose that, because if I lose that, I won't be able to help my son when he gets older because I'm so out of touch.
Right.
I got to be, okay, cool. Oh, this is what you guys do. Oh, this, okay.
Right.
Got to stay on it, man.
Yeah, being around kids all day keeps you in that space,
doesn't it?
Yeah, which is good.
Yes, I think it's. I think it's good.
As I go balder and my beard gets whiter, it keeps me as young as I can be.
Well, and it's like it's just that balance, you know, like, you know, and you got to find that balance between like old school and new school.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's where the best coaches and teachers and the educators come from. Is they take, okay, this worked.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that we were doing with that, not the best thing. Let's do this. This is more efficient. This is better. This is going to help them learn better, whatever it is, right? And that's where you see, you know, when you look at whether it's like college sports and you see the Nick Sabans of the world that are still around, you know, you would think someone like that been long gone because of being an old school mentality, but he knows how to blend his old school mentality with the new school and staying young and staying able to relate to his players when they come in.
There you go.
Like,
That's
Nick
the big
Saban
part
relates
right
to his
there.
players. You know, you relate to the kids that are coming to your program. We can relate to the kids that are coming into this gym, you know, in some way, shape, or form.
I think as the world progresses, which like technologically it's going to progress like crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like you can't make up for that personal connection. We're humans. We need it. Whether you think you need it or not, at the end of the day, you need it. If you don't have it, you're going to go searching for it somewhere. So,
and that connection is key that you said. Like, you got to be able to connect with the kids or anybody, because even when I was younger, I had a hard time connecting with teachers because I always said, you don't know nothing about me. You don't know where I've been. You don't know where I come from. You don't know anything. And I was like that with everything. But then the ones that understood or took the time to understand or ask me about myself.
You're saying teachers when you were growing up, when you were a kid.
Yes, teachers growing up. Those are the ones I connected with. And those are the same ones that helped me in college and still to this day.
Right.
You know, I can be traveling the world while I'm getting my master's degree, but I was writing them papers and sending it to my 8th grade teacher.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, can you look this over and give me your thoughts?
Yeah.
And that's the same one who connected with me and made sure I was good and asked me questions about my family and came into my neighborhood
Right.
and didn't feel scared or whatever it is. People got to understand these kids, understand them so then that way they can connect. Once you start connecting, they start opening up more about who they are.
Yeah.
That's what you want. And that's what you want, right?
And that's the art form, whether I think you innately have it or not. I
Right.
guess that ability to just communicate, connect with people, relate to them, form a relationship because of how your parents were with you, because of your upbringing. But then like you grab these pieces in life, like you playing basketball and then you going to school for education. It's like, okay, like I can pull these skills into how I'm, because it's an art form. We need a kid in 60 minutes to, an hour 15 to execute a training program and work hard and get better. But while they're doing that, I need to know how their day's been, how things are at home, how they're feeling today, what's on their mind.
right?
Yeah.
The big thing I say a lot of times too, and I've said this before, and you got to give a little to get a little.
Yeah.
Like especially when I get a new kid in here that's a 7th grader, not super social. They're quiet at first, and it's like those are the ones that I have the most fun with because it's like when I get them to break and their personality starts to show, it's awesome because we see it in here all the time.
Yeah, we got one kid who was quiet to start, and now you ever watch Whose Line Is It Anyways? Back in the days, like
I did,
like Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady, yeah.
I forget the other
That's
guys.
funny.
Funny. I remember watching that. Like, oh, Wayne Brady's. I was like in 7th grade, probably. Oh, Wayne Brady's hilarious. This is great. This is him. And then I'm watching Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
You ever see the
You
bit
see
with Wayne
it?
Brady?
Yeah.
It's like, Wayne
Great,
Brady,
wasn't
bitch.
it?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is the real Wayne Brady.
This is the real one.
Like, they're like picking up prostitutes. I'm like,
when he was in a car and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That was funny, man. He kind of like took over a show that day. Oh man.
Yes, he did. He did for that episode.
He did.
You're
for that.
right.
It was a great. That was a great episode.
Those
by
2
the way.
seasons are incredible
Yeah,
of
it was.
Chappelle Show.
Speaking of Wayne Brady, I forgot I saw him at my sister's college when live.
He finally cut his hair.
Oh, he
Wayne
did?
Brady.
He needed to, man.
Just bald. You're saying all the way.
Yeah. He needed
At some
to.
point, you got to do it.
At some point, you just gotta.
Hey, that's what my teammates said. They said, Tay, I think it's
time.
time to let it go. And those are the 2 other bald guys, Big Easy and Flight Time. I don't know if you heard of them, but they were on Amazing Race for 2 seasons.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
I used to watch that show. I still watch Survivor.
Yeah.
That's like.
But that's different though.
that's different. Yeah, that's not Amazing Race.
I couldn't stand to be on that.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff is hard, man.
Yeah.
Even Amazing Race is hard because that's you and your partner.
Well, you got to be very strategic in who your partner is. Because I use Paul's Paramount to watch Survivor every week.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul. But after the episode finishes, Amazing Race pops up, and every time I go, Sam, could we do this together? She's like, maybe.
Tough,
I'm like,
man.
I don't know.
That's tough. That is tough. But that was probably, them 2 being on it definitely helped our notoriety. Because people, at one point, they forgot the Globetrotters was still around.
Yeah.
Like, they still around? So we had to find things that we can do
To bring up the
to
popularity.
bring it back.
Yeah.
Adding a 4-point shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now all of a sudden, like, Ice Cube took it in his 3-on-3 tournament
And they've
stuff
been talking
and
about
everything.
potentially adding
And
it
they've
to
been
the
talking.
NBA.
That's all you
for
want.
real?
Yeah, that's all you want is you want them talking.
Yeah.
And think about it, the Globetrotters, we're already innovators. So we already was doing the behind the back and the tricks and the long range shots, the Grady shots. We were already doing that. And then all of a sudden people started taking it. So now that 4-point shot, even if the NBA don't take it, we already got people like Steph Curry and them already shooting.
They're
it.
shooting that deep anyway.
So come on, man. Like we to be honest with you, it was on Jeopardy. It was one of the questions.
Like
Was-
what,
was-
the
It
4-point
was
shot?
who invented the 4-point shot or something like that, and everybody was sending it to me.
That's
And I
cool.
thought it was gonna be Firefly. I thought Firefly was
like,
the answer.
I'm
I'm like,
about
oh
to get
yeah,
on Jeopardy.
and then it
Here
just
we go.
popped up. Harlem Globetrotters. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. But it's cool to be able to say that, and see it. And like my son, for example, he loves basketball. All right, I don't have many regrets, but if I had to think about something that I wish I would have done, it would have been to play one more year so my son can watch me play. And even if he doesn't remember it, maybe we got a picture together
Right.
with me in my uniform.
So you retired Globetrotters the year before he was born?
Yes.
Okay.
So I retired. I retired. He was born, then I retired.
Okay.
Then COVID hit. So it was happening anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm
No,
trying to
yeah,
say?
yeah,
It
you
was
weren't gonna be
happening
playing.
anyway.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm happy that I retired on my own. Mm-hmm. COVID didn't stop me.
Right.
Injuries didn't stop me because we already know people retired due to injury as well, 9 times out of 10. But I wanted that. But now I don't really have to. You want to know why I don't care about it anymore? Because he's watching me on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, he's already like, Firefly, Daddy Firefly. Oh, look at Moose. And he's already reliving it and seeing it. And I'm not, it's not the selfish part of me, but I'm happy that we have that. So then that way he can see, okay, this is what Daddy did. That's cool. You know? And now he goes to school with his basketball, and I tell him, I'm sorry he's bringing his ball in. But it makes him happy.
Yeah.
So then now, it started off, we drop him off at school, and he cries because he wants us. Now he got his basketball. Now he doesn't. Cool, let's keep this going for a little bit. Eventually he'll get out of it, but if the basketball makes him happy, please work with me on this because that's all I care about is my boy being happy right now.
Right.
Yeah. So he was born right before COVID, and then everything shut down. So he was a newborn when everything was shut down.
Yeah, so he was born in June. And then obviously COVID hit around,
I don't know,
March.
Yeah,
we
shut down here in April. So
yeah. So
I know the exact date because it was when I had to become unemployed, and I never thought that was going to happen in my adult life, and it was out of my control. But I was like, hey, you know what? We're going to go with it.
Things happen for a reason. Was that nice though? To just be like, hey, I'm going to be at home with him, and there's nowhere else to be. And
no, it was tough.
Tough
because I couldn't bring him anywhere.
Right.
So I couldn't bring him to, I don't know. I'm just gonna say like Little Gym.
Right.
Things that keep kids active.
Yeah.
Couldn't even bring him to the Hannaford. Right. You know, like I'm nervous being in there myself.
Right.
Because I don't want to get him sick. And at this, you know, in the beginning it was pretty serious.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, you know, so it was tough. And also coming from me, I was very stressed out because I'm going from traveling the world, being the most active person in the world.
You did a 180 for your own
to
brain.
now just stuck, not going anywhere. So it was tough for me as well mentally, but he made me happy because we're all stressed out, and he's happy because he doesn't know nothing about what's going on in this world because he's a freaking newborn.
Yeah,
you know?
And it's a crazy time in the world. But that we had our daughter in February. And it's almost like this immediate like shit that I thought was a problem before or I was stressed about. I'm like, that's not a big deal at all. Like our daughter's here and she's healthy, and like that's what's important. You know, like me stressed because I don't know, somebody didn't input something at work or something. It's like, dude, that doesn't matter. Like that doesn't matter, man.
It doesn't, man. And you know. And we could get stressed out. And let's be honest, even kids, you know, at this point, you know, like even my son said, I can't do this, you know, and we were at the Y and he was like, I can't do this, talking about shooting a ball. And that was a couple months ago. And I said, I can't believe he's saying that. Like, I don't have to tell him that. Like, he's already saying that. So I had to be like, no, you keep shooting. You keep shooting. My wife was getting upset because he was getting mad. But when he made it, he was happy. And I said, I'm not going to let him start thinking that way so young that he can't do anything. If my son says, Daddy, do you know I can beat this car in a race? I'm gonna say, you sure can. Right? I'm not gonna tell him he can't. I don't want to start having him think that. If he thinks he can do it, cool, you do it. You know, but people got to understand how the mind works. And I think that's probably why I went for psychology and everything, because I understand that, and I know how that mind can just fool you. Because I fooled myself a couple times, you know, thinking that I can do something, and really I could, but I can also psych myself out to say, man, I'm going to miss this free throw right now. Right. Like, I'm going to miss it. Right. Even though I know I can make it, but your mind, whew.
You dwell on the negativity, that's what's going to happen. You know, like.
It's so important what you say to yourself. Right. I don't care what people say about me. It's what I say to myself. It really is. Because I'm the only one, you know, and again, talking about our kids, I already taught my son to say, I'm good, I'm great, I'm awesome, I'm the best. He doesn't know what he's saying. He really doesn't. Yeah. Until somebody tells him he isn't.
Yeah. I mean, our daughter she's going to be 3 months next week. And she'll be lying there. She's starting to smile at us. It's like the greatest thing. And I'm just like, you're strong, you're smart, you're pretty. I go, you'll never be tall, but like, you'll be...
Sometimes you got to say that, man.
Sometimes you got to put reality in. You're not going to be tall.
I tell people all the time, you can't teach height. My dad always told me that, like, you can't teach height. You can't teach height. Yep. And, you know, talking about dads and everything, like the one thing my dad used to do for me, because my parents didn't live together. So my dad lived in Poughkeepsie. My mom lived in Kingston. So I had both of my parents, but again, I didn't have them in the same household. So I would be with my mom Monday through Friday, go see my dad Saturday, Sunday, and then just keep repeating that process over and over. I think that's probably why I enjoyed being around my dad so much, because I knew I only saw him on the weekends. Right. But fast forward, he would always, there was a point, maybe in high school, where he just like took me out of the, I don't want to say the hood, but took me out of there, and he brought me to all these, because I thought everybody lived the way I lived. So he brought me into these nice parts of Kingston, nice neighborhoods. And he was just saying, one day you're going to get this house. One day you're going to get, because we lived in an apartment my whole life. I mean, to be honest with you, we moved, I live up here in the capital region now. We moved here 4 years ago, and this is the first time I ever had a washing machine. You know, first time I ever had a garage. You know, like the little things that you did not have that maybe people might take for granted, like I appreciate. And I'm happy that I have, you know. So, you know, but you know what's different is my son is going to be raised differently. As much as I want him to be raised the way, like, okay, he grew up, he has a house, he has this. So I grew up going to the Boys and Girls Club because my neighborhood wasn't good. His neighborhood's good. So now the hard part is, how can I teach my son how to appreciate and value things while understanding the importance of life?
Yeah.
This is the hard part. See, I grew up into it. Right. Because that's how my parents, now I'm doing the reverse opposite.
Right.
Like,
But that's like the ultimate goal, though, is that your kids don't have to grow up the way that you did.
But I think that's
then you got to be able to teach those lessons, like you said.
Right. And that's the trouble you see with, I mean, like I said, our daughter's 3 months old. We're not there yet. But you see it, you know, with kids who may be privileged in ways, and I'm trying to think of the right word for it, but their parents, right? Maybe their grandparents, they came here from somewhere else, and they were poor as hell and had a shitty upbringing, and they're like, I'm gonna bust my balls and make sure it's better for my kids. And then their parents, they have a little bit better growing up and do the same thing, and all of a sudden you have kids who are babied and not put in situations where they have to face adversity, and they don't develop a good work ethic, and it's like that gets lost. The generations that work behind you gets lost.
It's almost like it's gonna get lost at some point. It's
tough.
It is tough, man, and this is a part of being a parent, man. Well, that makes it so hard.
And like, I don't have kids, but like when I think of like the way I grew up, you know, my mom, she grew up on a farm. Like my grandfather owned a dairy farm. His parents came over from Russia.
Okay. So
like they were all like hard, like work, nose to the grind. My mom went to college. She got her education, was making decent money, and was able to provide things for me that she didn't necessarily have. Right. But then I learned, I guess, about the hardships that certain people go through like my friends. You know, like I see, like my best friend that I live with now, I'll never forget him telling me this, but he was like, because I said one time, I was like, I wish I grew up in an area that just like I was closer to people, so like I could like just walk over across the street to their house, like, because I didn't have that. Like houses were pretty far apart. But he was like, dude, going to your house was an escape for me. He's like, going to your house, like I knew I wasn't gonna get yelled at. I knew I wasn't gonna have like wake up and like have to go take out the garbage, feed the cows, do this, do that, do this, do that. Like I knew I was gonna be able to go there, and even if I screwed up on something, I wasn't gonna get in trouble. Wow. So like that gave me the perspective of like appreciation for what I had and how to be empathetic towards people that are not as fortunate as I was.
You have to.
You know, and I grew up with just the same as you, like parents were not together. I never knew my mom and dad together. So like I would go to my mom's most of the time. I'd go to my dad's every weekend or every other weekend. But I still had that appreciation for like, okay, this is where, you know, the two sides are. And then also like I see my friends and like how their parents struggle or how he's struggling. And like maybe I was just observant as a kid too. But it's one of those things like you don't realize it until somebody maybe shows you that.
That's
like they
good.
come from something different. So learn from your friends. Like that's a big thing. Like have your
circle,
you know?
right?
So,
like that's important, man. That's important to people that you're around, and the way our family and our grandparents and everybody grew up, like that's important to know. I remember one day I gave my grandmother a hug and grabbed her hand, and she said, "Them soft hands, you ain't no hardworking man." And I'm like, well, you know, and I look at my dad's hand, and his is rough, you know, calluses, all, you know, because and I'm just like, I look at my hands, and I'm like, dang, like, they're good. I lotioned them up. You know, like I touched my wife. She's not saying ow. You know, it's like, well, this isn't the way you grew up.
Grandmothers are the best, man. Our grandma passed away. It was a year ago this past week, man. And I'm just thinking right to the end when she was sick in the hospital, just saying wild shit all day, making you laugh.
You know, but like those are the memories, you know, because I lost both of mine too, and like those are the memories we have. When I first was on the Globetrotters, I was one of them people who you could tell he's a rookie because I took pictures all the time. And the vets would always look at that rookie. Look at him. Until now, I started noticing they were doing it later on in their career because they like Tay, they like Fly, because that's what they call me. Fly. They was like, hey, we doing one of yours right now. We taking pictures and stuff. And I'm like, because sometimes that's all we got. Mm-hmm. Like, that's all we got. So not having my grandmother around, not even being on the Globetrotters, all I can look at is pictures, and it will bring me back to those times. So understand why it's so important. I moved a couple times in my life, and every time I moved, I lost pictures, baby pictures.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's my baby? Like, how can I even look at a picture of when I was 3 years old and compare it to my son? Like, we don't have it. So that's why I take so many pictures of him, because I'm like, I didn't have it. It's important, man. Like, take pictures, guys, like a lot. And I tell everybody who's ever listening to this podcast, who's ever whatever, take lots of pictures, man, because that's all we're going to have at times of people and memories and experiences. And it's either going to make us happy or it's going to make us cry, but it's going to be an emotion that I think is going to bring us back to where we used to be at, you know? Mm-hmm. So important. Yeah. Trust me, I looked at pictures of me and old girlfriends and said, get out of here. Get out of here. But again, it brought me back to some bad times. Get out of here. You know what I mean? Let me go throw that stuff away.
Look how far I've come.
Look how far I've come. I had all this hair. That's some good hair, man, you know?
Oh, yeah, man. You think you could win an NBA three-point contest?
Absolutely.
You watch it every year?
All right, let me tell you something. Good question. No, I can't. The reason why is because I'm not a good shooter when I'm open. That sounds so dumb.
You need somebody coming at you.
I need the pressure. I've been in multiple three-point contests before, and it's just too chill. There's no pressure. There's nothing there for me to have to make this shot. But when someone's jumping at me, my concentration level is just so, like, on it. You know, now, you're not going to go in the game and say, leave them open.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if I knew who I was, I would say, yes, leave me open.
Right.
But it'd be stupid for you to do. But I learned that over my time. I'm like, why can't I win a three-point contest? But then again, I'm shooting over this 6'7" guy, and I'm on. And it's because of the pressure that makes me concentrate more. And when I'm open, I have time to think. Life isn't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I always put things in life. Like, sometimes I like to be put in a pressure situation. And if you look at them 3 pointers that I made in the championship game for MAAC or in the MAAC championship or in the NCAA tournament, none of them was open, you know, but like, I don't know. I'm just that type of person. I think it's because I was like, sure, I was 5'9", and I always used to shooting over people, and it made me shoot the ball quicker. But that's the reason why I would say I can't. Well,
you can, like you said, your concentration, your focus is more on the target as opposed to like, oh, what's going on over here? Although I think if Steph Curry was across from you and you had to go against him, you'd be pretty focused. But yeah, like I think there's something to be said with that, because you see it even now, like when you watch like a college or professional game, like, how do you miss that, but you make that? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's the part of the game that you're just like, I was just too wide open. I had time to think about it. I had time to think and put my hands together, and it was just like, no, I need that boom, boom. It got to be like, as soon as he catches it, goes up. Now, if I was in a three-point contest, I would do things completely different. I would have a friend keep jumping at me every time I grab that ball and say, okay, just try to block me every single time.
That friend is going to be tired. You might need a couple.
I might need 5 friends because one for each rack.
Yes, yeah.
But I don't know if I got 5 friends in my life. I'm just going to be honest, yo. I don't have that many.
That's not a bad thing.
I'm not very tall. I'll come do it though for you.
All right, good. At least they get them in shape and everything. Oh, man. But good people, though, you know, I got a lot of good people in my life.
Yeah.
A lot of good people in my life. Family is like almost everything to me. Trust is very important to me. throughout my whole life, I never really asked for help because I always think I can do it myself. But now that I'm getting older and and if I want to grow my programs and I want to grow as a person, I got to ask for help. I got to, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But that's something I'm learning.
But it's hard because you feel, I guess for me too, in terms of starting this business and growing it, I felt like, okay, when I was an athlete, I had to, I wasn't the best. So I had to bust my ass to get to where I was, and then carried that through school. I wasn't like the smartest kid, but I'd work hard and get good enough grades to get through. And then starting a business, it's like, well, I don't have the business background that other people have, but I could work hard and I'll do it. And then as you do that, I feel like it gets harder to like relinquish control.
It is. You want to know why? Because I always said nobody can do it better than you. Like nobody can do it better than you but you could teach people how to do it, but still, I don't know, when it's your baby.
When it's your baby,
you gotta, I don't know. And I'm still going through this right now.
Yeah, that's a real.
I'm still going through this.
So I think if you asked, so when we first opened here, it was just myself and Dan, who I met in college. We played baseball together. He was my original business partner, and he's still a partner, and Paul's a partner now. But it was just the two of us when we first opened. And if you asked Dan what like year one Mike was, he was probably like, yeah, that fucking sucked. Like, he wanted to take control of everything and do everything and probably not take my input as much as he should. And then all of a sudden, I mean, I don't know what exact events lead to it, but you're like, oh, like we're both more stressed than we should be. We're not going to grow this thing unless, but then I had to like step back and just do like good self-reflection. I'd be like, why are things stressful? Why are they not growing like I think they should? And all of a sudden, like, oh, it's me.
It's you.
It's me.
Yeah.
You got to have that moment where you're like, it's me.
How hard is it to say that though about yourself?
Right.
And I think probably being on the Globetrotters, I think that probably I learned so much about myself being on the Globetrotters because first of all, we had our own rooms. Thank God. We had our own rooms.
Roommates all year.
We didn't have to share it.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
So like those times, I'd be like, I just sit in my room and I'd be like learning like, man, wow, my favorite color is this.
Yeah.
Wow, I do like to do this. Because my life has been on the go. I never really understood me.
Yeah.
So now I gotta start loving myself. I had to start doing things for me and understanding me for me to be able to help other people.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's hard, right? Like I started to do yoga. Like, yoga's not hard. What's hard about yoga or even meditating is to escape the outside.
Yeah, and to be fully present.
Yes,
right now.
You can't
to slow yourself down.
Yes, when I first started doing it, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I got this work I got to do.
Yeah.
And I'm so tense. Like I'm never, oh man, I forgot. It's so hard. So now when you start doing it for a while, you start realizing, okay, I got to let that stuff go. I'm in the present moment. This is self. And then I can go back to it. And it's only 10 minutes long you can do it for. But it's so hard when mentally you do not know how to stop.
And like for me, I can say like especially when I was in New York, that's how, and like when I first started in the fitness industry, it's like go, 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 go.
Go.
Right? So I would find myself thinking, because when I was in New York, I worked at New York Sports Club.
Okay.
So I could go to any New York sports club. So what I started to do was I would find myself, I'd be trying to do my workout. And that's my time for, like, that's my therapy. Like you were talking about basketball, like working out now, because I still play in a flag football league, but like I'm not playing football all the time, right? Working out's my form of therapy, like basketball is for you. Well, I would find myself like I'm working out, but I'm not focused on my workout, or I'm not in the workout and like just zoning out into the workout. I'm thinking like, okay, I got to do this over here. I got to do this over here. I got to do this over here.
Yeah, but you're right, Tay. The more complex your life gets, whether it's because of work, because your family's growing, the harder it is to stay present. But it's so important.
Yeah.
I can't be home with our daughter and like I'm thinking about everything that's going on here. Because now I'm missing her and I'm not building a connection with her. That was like the next level for me even. It's like, okay, now when I'm home, like, sometimes with Sam, we're sitting there on the couch watching TV, but like, I'm sorry, but like my brain's not here right now.
It's not, man. And there's times I'm always on my phone. Oh, good shot. Shot. Now my son is starting to say phone down. That's when I started saying, dang, I guess I'm on it too much. Phone down, daddy, because he knows I'm not interactive with him. And I do got to put it down. I got to, like right now it's over here. I didn't even touch it. Like I got to learn to put that thing down sometimes.
We all do.
We do. But now it's like, if I lose that, I would much rather lose my wallet now.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
everything is on that phone now, or a whole calendar, life, everything.
Well, you can't escape it. Just like running a business and doing life, it's a necessary thing.
It is. But knowing when to put it down and, talk, I mean, it's key.
Yeah.
It's so important, man.
This episode of Off Exit 10 is brought to you by Anchor and the all-new Anchor Pro, crafted to endure the most high-performance workouts without the high cost and space requirements of a standard cable machine. Named the best portable cable machine by Men's Health Home Gym Awards, Anchor provides the full functionality of a cable machine in one small space-saving unit. Designed with user-friendliness in mind, Anchor can simply be attached to any squat rack or placed on any wall in your home gym using its intuitive sliding track mount. With up to 65 pounds of resistance, Anchor is built for high speed and controlled exercises alike, from cable presses and rows to chops and lifts. The Anchor has been a game changer for us here at CDSF, and now you can enjoy the same professional quality cable machine in your own home gym by heading over to anchortraining.com and using code CDSF10 for 10% off your order today. Get all the benefits of a cable machine without the high cost and installation fees. Enjoy the portable luxury and space-saving performance of Anchor today by going to anchortraining.com and using code CDSF10 at checkout. That's anchortraining.com, promo code CDSF10 for 10% off your order today. Who were your players growing up you watched? And you're like, I want to play like this guy.
Allen Iverson.
That's my guy.
Again, I had the braids, started getting tattoos, getting in trouble. 16 years old.
I got tattoos because Allen Iverson too. So.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But see, someone like Allen Iverson, great player, but he changed the culture.
Yes.
He changed everybody.
Was
man.
he the first
it's
guy?
So crazy.
Was he the first guy in the league that had like the significant amount of tattoos?
Probably.
First popular guy.
First popular, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But like, come on, he changed.
He's like the one that brought hip hop to
man.
like the NBA.
Yeah, he even had a few commercials with Jadakiss.
Yeah,
for his Reebok sneakers.
Those Jadakiss commercials.
Jadakiss is up there for me in rappers.
Jadakiss is the man.
Yeah.
Love Jadakiss.
Jay, give us a Jadakiss right now. What song? What Jadakiss song? Give us one, Jay. Choose. Yeah, just his voice. You're like, okay.
You gotta get something that's just got the classic Jadakiss, like his signature, his signature laugh.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't even supposed to be a thing, which is crazy. But yeah,
so like
AI was
AI. I love Jason Kidd. I was a big Jason Kidd fan.
Jason Kidd's
I don't know because I used to collect basketball cards. So I would spend my last dollar on basketball cards. And it's funny, I would be like, oh, you like Drake? Thinking, they're like, nah, we don't listen to Drake. I'm like, dang, so who is good at your era? I don't really know who else.
I don't know. You know what? And I've been doing Diplomats lately when I've been working at. Jay, put on My Love.
My Love.
This is the song. Tell me if you know the song. This song I've been doing so much lately.
Who? So you like Joel Santana?
Joel's, Jim Jones.
Because I used to wake up listening to 50 Cent. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
dang, yo, I'm like,
you look up gangster
already
rap,
waking up.
You wake up, you feel like heat on right away. You're like, oh.
Like, why are you mad?
Why am I mad? So
you wake up, you're just like, fuck Ja Rule. You're like, okay.
like, why? Like, why am I like that? Or going to sleep like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now I started, now all of a sudden it's like Frank Sinatra and stuff like that. Something that is be like, bring me down, calm down a little bit from a long day. And then I'm different though. My mind's different. My work is, everything is different. So I got to kind of go in that path as well.
That's like,
because I already got a hectic life, man.
Yeah, right.
I'll know when to turn it on.
Yeah.
But I also, again, this is just me knowing me. So now
you
I
need something
know
to calm yourself down. You just need something to bring yourself back down to like a not so high up. Like I remember,
but that's knowing yourself. You're like the frequency I operate on is high.
Yes.
So I need my self-care to bring me down.
You have to.
You have to, because I'm sure we all have friends who don't have an exciting job and their day-to-day may operate middle to low. So then they're like, we got to go out at night. Let's go to the bar. Let's listen to some music.
My social battery's at fucking zero.
I got to bring myself back up.
My social battery's at zero, dude. I'll catch you next time. I remember walking home in New York with my one friend, and I'm sitting there, I can hear his headphones. He's got like freaking like Disturbed or like System of a Down. I'm like, bro, it is 9:00 at night.
Yeah.
Why are you so mad right now? What's going on? And he's like, I'm not mad at it, but that actually helped him calm down. I don't know how. Don't ask me how. I'm sitting there listening to like Black or like The Weeknd Like something that's just like mellow,
Mellow.
chill. Like, let me just calm down. Like, I just got done with a long ass day. I just want to go home and chill. Like, he's ready to go. And I'm like, all right.
Man, I mean, I agree. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I had to change it up a lot, but that's the beauty of it, man. I love to keep exploring and keep listening, and I love music. I grew up on music. My parents,
Same.
everything, you know, cookouts, whatever it is. Like, music is like everything to me. And now, you know, my wife, she's Puerto Rican and Dominican, so I have to learn about the culture. And they already know they love music. They love dancing. They love. So it's just, if she went to Siena as well, so we met at Siena, and I was with her the whole time I was on the road. You know, the whole time I was with the Globetrotters. We started dating at Siena. So I've been with her from the start of everything. And it's just, it's good to be able to share that life with somebody like her, who was with me from Siena all the way up until now. Because, and she works at Siena. She's an HEOP director.
Okay.
So I tell her, hey, don't leave there. Our boy come there, he going there for free. Don't you leave there. Duran, if you don't ever pick up a basketball, Mom, you gonna stay at Siena, you know. But we mess with her all the time, though. But she's awesome, man. And just the same program she was in when she was at Siena. So she has kids as well in that program that she's helping. So it's good to be able to have somebody who loves to make a difference just like I do. So now I got one kid, obviously, and you mentioned with a girl on the way, but in reality, I got thousands because they all been a part of my program. So now same thing with her. So we're making a difference. We're doing it together. We talk about it at night, about our kids. Oh man, he's going through this. How can I help him? Hey, tell him to come over here. Hey, do this. And we're working together as a team. So I'm happy that I'm able to like leave all of these other teams that I've been on, and now I have a team right now. My wife, my son, me. You know, we got another one on the way. We ain't gonna have a starting 5. We're gonna stop at 4. She told me that already.
Who's got a Dag's got a 5.
Yeah,
Dags has 5.
Until you go for 4 and you get a twin, and then you're like, shit, I got to start in 5.
That's always a problem. Yeah.
Remember when Dags said he got
5? Do you know Dags?
Yeah, Dags was on last summer.
Oh, okay. So he's a good friend of mine.
I love Steve.
Dags is a good guy.
Dags
so we
is
played
awesome.
on City Rocks together.
Okay, so you
shit.
played with
So
him
that's
growing
how
up.
I met him. That's the first time meeting Dags. But we talk all the time. He's a great guy.
He's
man.
a guy. It's like the vibe we get with you. He just is doing it right, and he cares about people. And
He's a good guy, man. It's good to be able to have that around here, you know, of good people.
yeah,
Because, you know, like, if I don't relate to you, like, somebody just reached out to me the other day and was like, hey, Tay, can we do some trainings with you? I said, right now I'm busy. I don't have the time, you know, to do it. But I know somebody who might,
yeah.
you know, and he does this for a living. Like, he makes time for that. Why don't you try hit him up? And it was Dags. If I can't help you, let me find somebody to help you. Because I don't want it to say, hey, me or nobody. Like, how am I helping you with that?
Right.
You know, like, and at the same time, hopefully you can find time for me and then other people. But like, we all have a different path.
Yes.
And we probably all have different mindsets and directions to the game. Maybe the way he teaches shooting might not work for you, and the way he teaches shooting might not work for you, but maybe this person that teaches shooting does. It's all the same, but it's all different. So that's the good part about basketball. And even with my son, like, even though I know all of this knowledge and I know what to teach, I'm going to be sending him to those people. Here, take care of my boy. Teach him how to do this. Teach him how to do that. Number one, I trust you. I know your path. I know what you do. Another reason why I'm sending him to you, because he ain't going to listen to me.
I was just going to say that. I was
He ain't
like,
gonna listen to me.
At some point, they go,
Yeah.
Dad doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
He ain't listening to me now. You know, he don't even listen to me now. So what makes you think he going to listen to me later? You know, but I love that I'm able to have friends that I know I can do that.
Yeah, that's
just go ahead.
part of doing this podcast is what I love. Like, you know, now I feel like I know you way more and starting to appreciate our relationship. So I went to Springfield College, and then I worked in Boston for 6 years, and I was like nose to the grind and built like a really sturdy network. You know, people that I called friends and we refer clients to, whether they were physical therapists or sport coaches or doctors, and then moved back here in 2017. And I was like, oh, I got nothing. Like, I do not have this circle professionally that I can talk to every week, and we can share clients, and we can help each other. And I was like, I got to get to building this, and like started reaching out to PTs and doctors, and
It's that you got to do the work.
yeah,
You got to do, even though I had my programs for I don't know, 19 years. I was still on the Globetrotters. So while I was on the Globetrotters, there was people like, for example, Dags, who was still doing this thing.
Right.
You know, but mine had to be put on hold. Can't be two places at once. You know, so now that I'm done, now I got to figure out how can I make this last more than just the summer?
Yeah.
Like, what can I do? How can I do this? And I don't mind calling somebody, because people have called me and I've called other people and say, hey, how do you do this? What did you do? How did you make that happen? Because right now I'm in the process right now where I do an anti-bullying program. So I go to all of these schools and I do my anti-bullying program. It's called Tay. So, right? That's such a genius name, right? So the T stands for talk, where I talk to them about who can you talk to. The A is for ask questions, where it's like, okay, where do I go to feel safe? And the Y is for you, where I'm teaching them about empathy. So I'm using my name as an acronym to teach them about ways to prevent bullying from happening in their school. So I have all of these great ideas that I've started doing with the Globetrotters, but now how can I get to these schools?
Yeah.
So now I got to call. I got to pick up the phone. I got to do the hard work. But once you do the hard work, now all of a sudden it becomes easier because you're connecting with people. Because this person knows this person. This person knows this person.
Yeah, you're like, you're planting seeds.
You're
and
planting the seeds. At some point it stops because somebody will stop it. But you got to keep it going, man. And sometimes the people who stop it, and I'm not trying to say that it will happen in the school systems, but even along the lines of what we do, somebody might stop it because they don't want to see you succeed, or maybe because they don't want to see you grow. I don't know, whatever the case is, but you got to keep it going, man. You got to keep it going, because you can't expect people to do it for you. Like I can tell you, can you call somebody and see if you got 1,000 things going on as well. So cool, I'll give you the number, you do it. I love doing the hard work. It makes me appreciate it. And I like working hard.
Yeah.
I love to see when the things that I started like this grow. I love it.
Yeah.
Walk us through your camp. Like a kid signs up, like what's a whole session like?
So a kid signs up for camp.
What's the ages for the camp too?
It starts at 7.
Okay.
But I have a league that starts at 5. I'm getting younger and younger.
You haven't been thrown out of a youth game, have you?
No.
Okay.
Some of that stuff's crazy online at AU games. Yeah.
No, I just remember,
I would never.
I saw something about JJ Redick and he got thrown out, but it was for like because the ref was trying to make an example, and basically.
That's the one, and I have to say, and I love refs. They do a good job. You know, even as parents and even as coaches, like, for example, a parent could be yelling, why ain't the coach doing this? Why ain't the coach doing that? Da, 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 da. But then you try being a coach.
Yeah.
It's hard, because you want to know why? It's easy to coach from the sideline because you don't got no pressure to be putting people in. You don't got to run a play. You don't got to call a timeout. It's easy. Same thing with reffing. It's easy to get on the refs until you put that whistle in your mouth, and then you're like, and then you got people heckling at you and yelling at you. Then you start tensing up. You got to understand where people are coming from. And there's times when I'm coaching, I'm gonna tell you the ref, I don't agree with that call. That was not a good call. But I ain't gonna go there and
berate him,
and I'm not gonna do that. That's just not my style. That's not how I am. And they're not gonna change the call anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, if they blow that whistle, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But with my camp sessions, with everything that I do, I just try to make it real. So my things are going to always keep getting young. They're not going to keep getting younger, but 5 is my cutoff, which is a great age.
But you'll
to
break
start.
it up. You'll have different age groups.
I do have different age groups,
Okay.
yes. And for my camp, it starts at 7, because I feel like 7 is a good age, because at the end of the day, you got to understand you don't want to go too young, because them kids, they can't leave their parents for X amount of hours either. You know, so I love it. It's great. They come in, we do drills, we have fun, we play games. I just teach them the game of basketball while having fun, while working hard. I don't want anybody thinking that just because we have fun, I won't be pushing them. I push them because that's the only way I know how to do things. But I want them to enjoy the process of it. You know, like there's ways to it. Because when you start loving the game, like for example, my son loves to play basketball. So all of a sudden I see him practicing for 3 hours straight. I mean, he's on the little rim, but
he's still doing it.
He's doing it. Let him. That's 3 hours of practice right there. Go ahead. keep going. But you know what? He's having fun. You want to know why? Because while he's doing it, he's also watching Space Jam as well.
Right.
So he's doing what they're doing.
Right.
The original Space Jam or the LeBron
Both.
Space Jam?
Both. He loves the original one, but he just watched the Space Jam this morning with LeBron James rapping like Porky Pig because he has I don't know if you saw it.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen
dang,
it.
man, you got to
I saw
see
it.
it. You know, but he loves it. He loves it. And to be honest with you, when that Space Jam came out, I took all my campers to go watch it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I rented out the Albany Crossgates Mall theater, brought all my campers there. Said, let's go watch the movie. It's a basketball movie. It's fun. It actually came out around COVID.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't have much going on.
Like it came out like when we were allowed to do stuff.
When we started, I was gonna say that. I'm trying to remember, but it's like, hey, like this is a time to get together, and we're watching it. You know, so he loves Space Jam and he loves Home Alone because I love Home Alone.
Fantastic.
Great.
Lost in New York though.
That's the second one.
The second one.
Yeah.
The second one. And he loves Little Rascals. I'm a big Little Rascals
Classic.
fan.
Yeah, good
Those are
movies.
classics.
Yo, I'm trying to teach him the classic stuff, man.
Listen.
I ain't into all of this stuff. Let's go. We're going to watch Rugrats.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah,
Right?
Give
We
me
gonna-
Rugrats. Give me. Were you Nickelodeon then?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
me too.
I was Nickelodeon.
Rugrats. Jay, tell me your favorite Nickelodeon show. Rocket. Just Rocket Power.
Rocket Power was mine.
Rocket Power.
Rocket Power was mine.
Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
Hey, Arnold.
Hey.
Yep.
Hey Arnold.
Do you guys remember? I don't know if you do. It was called All That.
Yeah.
Keenan and Kel.
Yes,
Come on.
exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, was that Nick?
Coolio,
Was Nick?
R.I.P.
Was Nick?
Coolio.
Yes, yes.
Was Nick Cannon on that too?
No.
No, he
No,
wasn't.
but all that was like the SNL. Like
it was.
That was like-
it was like the
It was like Amanda Bynes. Like,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
kind of like the.
I know. Why can't I think of what it is?
Why can I? I'm
Well,
having
it's like Saturday Night Live.
Yes. Yes.
a little bit. You know,
Yes.
when we already know in Living Color had Jim Carrey
Yep.
Right.
and all of them. You know, but it was kind of like that, just a Nickelodeon version.
Yeah.
But it was good.
And then who would have thought Keenan Thompson would be the longest person on SNL ever?
He's so funny
He's
still.
Yeah.
Still. I just saw him doing like a Kendrick Perkins impersonation.
Oh God, that's got to be hilarious.
It's so. Oh man, that's some good stuff.
Those
man.
shows were great. Yeah, you had
They
Keenan
were
and
great,
Kel. You
man.
had all that.
Well, because you'd have Keenan and Kel. I remember you'd watch Keenan and Kel, and then Keenan and Kel would end, and all that would start.
Then all that was.
That was
Some
the
good
lineup.
times,
And
man.
you watch Keenan and Kel, and then go right into all that, and I was like, oh, this
But
is
now everything is on like, I'm not trying to say it, but like YouTube.
Yeah, we just
Stuff-
do
and
you-
to be honest with you, TV isn't even a real thing now.
it's all streaming.
Right.
Everything's streaming. Everything is like I don't even have cable. Like I like
None
I
of
don't
us
use like
probably
the
do.
Spectrum app or you know what I mean.
I
Like there's
I
like,
bootleg my mom's Dish Network. That's what I do.
but you see the times we live in now.
Yeah.
It's not even the same.
No.
Wow.
It's like I can remember like Channel 25 was ESPN, Channel 50 was Nickelodeon. I think my brain probably stops at that.
Yeah, you
Jay.
got it.
Yeah.
51
For us to
Cartoon
even have to
Network, 52
remember that.
Disney.
Right.
I wasn't a Cartoon
40
Network
47,
person.
I think it was like MTV or
neither.
VH1.
Me neither. I wasn't Disney at all. I was
wasn't-
Nickelodeon, like purely.
Yeah, I
The
wasn't.
only
a-
the only thing on Disney I remember watching was I would watch Smart Guy, and I'd watch Boy Meets
oh
World.
yeah.
Tho-
Okay.
Those are the only two
Yes.
shows I ever really remember watching on Disney. And
Yeah.
then all the like Disney movies they did.
Yeah.
Like all those Disney movies, like The Luck of the Irish. I distinctly remember that one. That was the basketball one.
Wow.
Luck of the Irish.
You ever watch Saved by the Bell?
Oh yeah. Zach
That's
Morris,
like, is that
baby.
like is that like Mario Lopez? Is that
Mario
Saved by the Bell?
Lopez. I just know him as Zach Morris. I don't
Yeah,
know his
Zach
actual
Morris.
name. Screech, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah, Screech. Yeah.
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 What's her name? Kelly. Like,
That was her name in the show.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, I know. I can't think of their
I don't
actual
be
names.
knowing.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
It's
the
kind
only
of
one
like
you know their actual name is Mario Lopez.
But no, yeah. Remember, you would have to like you'd go to there'd be like the TV Guide channel,
Yep.
TV guy.
and it would scroll so slow.
So slow.
And you just
my
have to wait
gosh.
and be like, what is on Nickelodeon? You're like, it's channel 50, and it's on channel 4, and you got to sit there for like.
Oh,
And then
8
and then it
minutes.
scrolls past because you look away for a second, and then you're like, God damn it.
I gotta do it again.
Then you
Yeah.
just go to the channel. You're like, I'm just going to Nickelodeon and see what's
Now
on.
it's like so. I don't want to say it's easy, but even like watching wrestling, like it used to be $50 to have to watch pay-per-view.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now it's pay $10 a month on Peacock or whatever,
Right. And you get it.
watch whatever you want, whenever you want. I mean, it's a great thing, but $50 was a lot of money back then. So we used to just kind of like, hey, stand over there and hold the
Yeah.
whatever that needs to be done. But
Yeah.
How can we get this without paying for it?
yeah, hey, there was ways then
There
too.
was.
There was ways.
Yeah.
But man, let's appreciate those childhoods, man, and because those, to be honest with you, that's why we are the way we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Am I right?
We're the last generation like to grow up without a period of time without the internet.
Yeah.
Because when I started when I started college, Facebook just came out.
Yeah.
Correct.
When I started college, I started in 2004. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I remember because watching you obviously play at Siena, like I was in high school.
Yep.
The
Right.
time that you were at Siena.
we had to use our school ID in order to get onto Facebook.
We had MySpace.
Yeah,
then-
MySpace
and-
was.
yeah, I
and
never
I didn't
had
get
one.
on it.
Me
though.
neither,
I
no.
wasn't on it, but it was. Probably MySpace was on before.
MySpace was right before Facebook. Then
yeah, it was
Facebook
before
came
Facebook.
and crushed MySpace out of the.
Yeah,
Tom came along and he killed MySpace.
Yeah, it was like AIM chat and then MySpace and then like
Let me
Facebook.
tell you something that you guys are gonna laugh at.
What?
I still have an AOL email address.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's probably not
Listen,
many out there.
I still have one, and the reason why I do is because when I did not have one, my teacher gave one to me, and I still keep it just to, as like a thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I still have Gmail, I still have everything, but I still have an AOL email address. So crazy, man.
That's-
People be like, they'd be like, what's your email? I go, no. At AOL.com. They'd be like, what'd you say? And I just be like, at AOL.com.
That's like
Oh, okay. They're like, well, how old is this guy? Yo? Like,
in here when somebody has to sign up, like give us their email, we put it in our system. We had a college baseball player a few summers ago, and we're like, okay, like let's just give me your email, I'll put it in, we'll get you signed up. And he looks. I'm like, do you have an email? He's like, yeah. I was like, what is it? He's like, sports dude like 11 at Yahoo. I'm like, you probably should get a new email. Like you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
You can't be sports
everything
dude
is
anymore.
like Gmail. Because it connects our phone as well. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, or iCloud
iCloud and Gmail.
Right.
I like
or
the two.
Gmail. Those are probably the two. I still see people with like MSN.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about parents.
Right.
I have a Yahoo one still that,
Yahoo
that I don't
one.
really use.
Dang man, those some good. Remember the
Yeah,
Sidekick?
You remember the sidekick?
I didn't have one, but I remember it.
Yeah.
I
Remember
remember my
I
buddy
used to
had one.
have
I was
one.
like, yo, I want one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like whatever, like a regular phone, and then like a chocolate, and then like an Envy. Maybe
then the
those were
Envy.
like the phones.
those
and then
were
you
the-
just
that's what I
get
had.
an iPhone. But
I used to have a Nextel. Never could bleep nobody because nobody had one.
My
You know?
stepdad used to do that all the time. It's funny because you can do that with your Apple Watch.
Yes.
So one of the members in here did it with their Apple Watch, not expecting the other person to be able to ping them back, and then they did, and I was like, "Yo, your husband's pinging you right now," and but then I was telling like my stepdad used that walkie-talkie like it was going out of style,
Yeah.
because it did,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
he literally used it
The
all the time,
walkie-talkie, yeah.
all the time.
has Siena been back to NCAA tournament since you were there?
After I did, they went 2 years in a row. So they went 3 years. So I started it. They played Vanderbilt.
And that was what? That was 08?
That was in 08. Then they went the next year, and they won against Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they went the year after that, and I think they ended up losing to Purdue. So I think those were the 3 years, and then Coach McCaffrey left
Yeah. To go to
Iowa.
Yeah, he's at Iowa.
People don't understand, man. You got to enjoy those memories with colleges because it does not happen all the time.
Yeah.
Especially at a mid-major like
Right.
Siena. Like
100%.
I think the first time we went was after they went in 1989 with like Mark Brown. Like it just doesn't happen because mid-majors are always the starting. It's always the stepping stone for coaches.
Right.
Right.
Like I'm gonna go do well here and then go to a
And
Power
then
5.
So then you don't have a consistency like a Coach K.
I never
Or
thought about it like
somebody.
that from a coaching standpoint, but that makes all of the sense.
It makes so much sense. Even players
but what-
are starting to
but
do
what
it
about
now
now.
with
now?
the transfer portal, yeah,
You don't have to sit anymore.
That's the only. But again, that's why I did not leave because I didn't want to sit.
yeah.
I said,
Right.
I'm not sitting if I'm not injured.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just to leave to go to another school and I'm going to be working out all hard and then sitting down and watching other people play. I just had too much love and I wanted to do it right then and there. Now, if I didn't have to sit, maybe I would have left. Maybe
Right.
because it's easy, but it's also teaching the kids no commitment.
Right.
True as well.
They're going to struggle with a girlfriend, boyfriend. I don't got a guy. I could just leave. And you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
now I'm like, no, I'm committed. I'm staying here. Even if things get hard. Because there was times at Siena where I didn't play much.
Yeah.
There was times where I was a 6 man. I would play X amount of minutes. But I knew I was capable of being out there because every time I got out there, the crowd cheered for me. And they were ready.
Was that hard being one of the stars in high school and then going to be a six man and coming off the bench?
A little bit. And the reason why I thought it was hard was because, for example, my senior year, Kenny Hasbrook and Ronald Moore, because in practice, I used to kill. I used to be like, I was good. No matter what people saw, I knew I belonged. But in practice, like I remember Kenny Hasbrook and Ron, I'm like, hey, like, why don't, you should ask coach for more playing time. And I'm like, nah, it's all good. He's like, nah, we're going to go in there, we're going to go say something to him. I'm like, nah, don't say nothing. I'm good. When my time comes, when my name's called, I'm going to be ready. You know what I mean? Because our team was good and we were winning. I don't want to be complaining if we're winning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Now, if we're losing and I'm like, yo, like I should be, I'll say something. But if we're winning, I will get in there, and which I was getting in there, but I'm going to still keep coming in and I'm going to still keep doing my thing. And you guys are good. Our team's good. Why am I going to take, and then all of a sudden I go in there and I'm hitting threes, I'm going to make those people have to say, put Tay in.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing to coach. Don't let him coach. The crowd will put the pressure on him after a while, and then he'll play me, because that's kind of what happened. Oh, Tay's getting in, Oh, now all of a sudden he's like, I got to put Tay back in. And I'll go in there and do it. Because I let my game just do the talking. And to be honest with you, those struggles probably was good for me.
Right.
Because sometimes I needed to be grounded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I needed that sometimes. I think about it now. I appreciate it. Back then, I was upset. But at the same time, I was a part of their success. I was the captain. I was the leader. I had different roles. Come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, man. I've stormed the court or field twice as a fan in my life. Once was when I lived in Boston. Our friend Josh Keyes, whose jersey's up there.
Oh,
played,
nice.
Played 7 years maybe in the NFL, but he was playing for BC, and they upset USC, who was ranked. So everybody was crazy.
Oh, yeah,
You're
Alex was there, too.
Yeah, Alex was there. You charge the field was wild. The other time was it Ryder?
Yeah.
Game?
Oh, you were there.
Me, Jordy, and my dad were there. I didn't realize we were there until I was just looking up about you a little bit before you came on.
Wow.
And I looked and I was like, why does this look so familiar? And I was like, oh, we were there. And I remember, I was like,
It was on my birthday too.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's the first time we ever stormed the court. Was
crazy.
That game when you? I don't know. How many did you drop that game?
I had 21.
Yeah. And the even wilder part is I was like, what else was at this game? Like, we stormed the court and they won. And I was like, you know what? When we were younger, we went to a River Rats game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Great time. Just you go there for the fights all
Yeah.
the
Oh,
time.
I love the
That's
River
why
Rats.
you went. But one of our, I don't know, a friend, whatever, did promotion for the Times Union. Like, that was his job. So we had our old high school baseball coach at River Rats game, did like bowling once. We had like knock over coconuts. And he like ate shit in the ice. So we called him Slippery Scott. So for that game versus Ryder, they got my dad to do the half-court shot or something at halftime.
That's crazy.
And I remember, it was a full arena, and I remember he heaved it up and just whiffed and pulled his hamstring.
I was like, typical
Yeah.
Dave.
That is a memory right
I remember
there.
he came back
from half court.
I think that's what it
Yeah,
was.
no, that takes a lot.
Yeah, I remember he came back to the seat, and I was like, Dad, this is embarrassing. You okay? He's like, I pulled my hamstring.
That was, oh man, I'm so happy that you guys were there. That's awesome, man. You know about that game is I scored 21. So it was my 22nd birthday on that day. So I had, it was like 21 minutes, it was like 22 minutes on my 22nd birthday, and I had 21 points at the free throw to make 22. I missed it though, because they were all chanting happy birthday to me. So I was getting emotional, and I knew it was my last, and I wanted to win, and I'm just like, dang, just imagine if I would have made that. It would have been 22 across the board.
One of those weird moments.
Weird, right?
Sports
Yeah.
is like that sometimes.
Sports is like
Wasn't
that.
that like after DeMar Hamlin?
After
Wasn't
DeMar
their next
Hamlin.
game, the guy did like a kick return at like the third quarter and I don't know the
Yeah.
stats, but it was like a bunch of
Well,
It's
threes
they
bunch of
scored
lined
the
up.
first touchdown at like something crazy. The LeBron breaking the record. It was like 38 points, 38 years later.
Oh,
38,000.
That's crazy,
It was
right?
all 38s. Like, it was nuts.
Sports is like that, right? Man, gotta love sports, man. They gotta love sports. Gotta love. And my son, like, when we talk about him, you know, but he's in Aframs. He does soccer. He does. After having COVID, I just want him just doing something.
Yeah.
Active. That's all I care about, because I just don't want you sitting home on the computer or on the tablet or on YouTube, like, because social media can take a hold of you, especially that young. If you start that now, and trust me, I've taken the iPad away from him at times and watched him flip out in public, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, he is going crazy. We got to get away from this thing a little bit. But it's an easy thing to give them, because I don't want to say it shuts them up. But
Yeah, well, I see people do it. It's like, I don't want a parent right now. Listen, she's 3. I'm not there yet. I'll probably face that moment where I'm like, just take the iPad for a bit. I got to do some stuff.
And there's times I've done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I know people that do it all the time.
There's a time and place for it.
There is a time and place.
Like when it's you by yourself and you're like, I got to get this work done.
Yeah.
And I need him to be distracted.
Yeah.
Like, let me give him this tablet for the next 20 minutes so I can get this done, and then we'll go outside.
Then we'll go outside.
That's real. What's your craziest trick shot that you could do? If I was like,
That's
Tay,
funny, because that's the question I was just looking at.
If I was like, Tay, we're playing a game of horse, knock everybody out right now.
All right. There's one where
Is it on the internet?
Yeah.
Okay. Tay, look up. Go, tell us.
All right. So there's one where I flip the ball between my legs to go in, which people can't do, because when you bend down, the ball automatically goes back. But I know how to flip it so it goes up.
So you're literally throwing it like
Between my legs.
between your legs,
and
like,
it
like
goes
you're hiking.
forward. Yes.
Okay.
All right. There's another one where I flip it up, catch it on my neck, flip it up, put it in. But the best one is probably off my butt.
So what do? Where's the ball? It's on your... You flip it up?
You can find it on YouTube.
Tay, you find
You
it?
could type in, like, you know, Tay Fisher craziest shot, or I don't know, trick shot or something. I don't know. See if it pops up or something like
Here,
that.
hold on. Let's find this. You got it, Jay?
I've got a trick shot.
What is it? What is it? There it is, right there.
This one?
It's the top one. Wait, yeah, that might be it. That might be. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's it.
You got it, Paul?
Oh, no, that's not it.
We'll put it up.
That's not it.
We'll put it
But
up.
that's one of them, though.
We'll put it up on our page.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah. We'll put it.
Oh, that's the one off the head.
Yep.
Okay.
If you go back, keep going. Maybe it's down. There it is, right there.
This one?
Yep, perfect.
Of course, the one where he's like twerking in the
I told people I was probably watching Beyonce, you know, right
That's
before
fair.
that or something
I mean,
like
that's-
that. You know.
Well, let's wait for this ad to play, although I do want to watch this movie. Dr. G was telling me about this movie.
Oh yeah. Okay. Here it is.
Yeah, that's it right
Yeah,
there.
Jay. It's the one you had. So you
No, just hit it off.
He literally just does a booty bump to the ball. And then he's jamming to Beyonce right now.
I mean, I think I can get you definitely with an H on that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
My,
sure.
my nieces would love that because
10 times out of
If
10.
you- if
my
you shoot
sister's
a-
known as Aunt Booty, so they would love that.
If you shoot a free throw, you're getting me on the H. So.
right away. Well, if I play you on horse, I'm going to start light anyway.
Yeah.
Left-hand layup,
Okay.
something that I just want to see if you can do.
Right.
You know, I also did that same trick right at, where's the Patriots?
Foxborough?
Foxborough? Gillette?
Off their stadium, right off the top. It was on, what was it on? It was on,
Oh, you're standing up top in seats. And
I was
the hoop's
standing
down
right
low?
at the top, and they had a rim at the bottom. And I just hit it off my butt. And it just went down. Boom, right into the hoop.
That's nuts. That's the one you got to find.
Well, just going to different places is so cool. I'm sure, man. Yeah.
Good times, though, man. Good times.
What's
you
your
know.
favorite country you've been to where you're like, I just love it there? And you've been to so many.
Other than, I would say everywhere, just because,
they're so
to
different.
be honest with you, going to New York City, I thought I was, I would come back and tell everybody I got these Jordans from New York City. Yo, you ain't getting these, man. These ain't getting these. You know, but like, best place I have to say is Egypt.
okay.
You see the pyramids?
Pyramids,
Oh, so
Sphinx.
cool.
I learned about King Tut in school. Like, the things you're just like, I did a project. I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. And I went by myself because I did PR before the team came. So I'm like on a camel and I'm like, Dad, this, I can't believe I'm here. Even the pictures I took, it looks photoshopped.
Just like
because
in
now
front
we
of the
live in this
pyramid?
generation where you could just Photoshop things.
Yeah.
But I'm like, so everywhere I went, I did video, and I wanted to be a teacher, so I did video talking to my students. Like, hey, what's up, class? Right now I'm in Egypt right now, because I didn't know what I was going to do after the Globetrotters. So I was preparing myself for those moments of just in case, telling them, hey, I love you, always keep working hard. And I have a lot of those. Even when we went to go entertain the troops, and I'm in a, I don't know, a helicopter or whatever it is. And I just did so many amazing things, man, that I got to like look back and just kind of bring me back there again.
Yeah, man.
You know, learned about, oh man, I'm in Italy. This is an Olive Garden. This is some good food right here, man.
Yeah, Italian food is that when you go to Italy, it's not, and here you get this big plate with a ton of food and a ton of sauce. Italy, it's light.
It's not
small. It's light.
Very light. That was one of the struggles of being overseas. Is I'm used to pancakes,
Yeah.
big, and then it's like croissant,
Yeah, it's like a little
like
piece
with
of ham.
a piece
and
of cheese. What the hell? Like I'm not, you know what I mean? And they's like, no, that's just how we are. And I'm like, oh, man, and for athletes, we're always hungry. I'm always, and I'm just like, I can't eat this. So I'm getting a croissant and stuffing it with this meat and everything every single day. But that's the difference. Is they don't eat big portions like that in Europe.
Well, listen, you see the type of shape people are in Europe versus
That
here.
is true.
It's like,
That is
that's
true.
That's a big player, man. But shoot, we could go on for forever, but we got to let people in the gym in a few minutes are
man.
here to work out. I appreciate you,
No,
Tay.
thank you.
This is a blast, man. I enjoyed the hell out of this.
No, I
man.
really appreciate it, guys, for having me. I'm hoping that this create a friendship and a connection
Absolutely. I mean,
between us and others,
I'm already thinking of having my niece come to your camp. So
Yeah, man.
And I'm already thinking about having some of the people in my program start coming here. I mean, but this is what I'm looking for. This is the relationships. And also, I don't want to be that guy that can do everything.
Correct.
Right.
I want to be that guy that can do this, but know that, can I do this? Yeah, but I'm going to get you to the professionals, to the people who know what to do.
That's a maturity thing. That's a drop in your ego thing
Yep.
along the way.
It is, because, and it gets them connecting with other people and it keeps us close. I'm in that phase right now because I started to learn I can't do it all.
Yeah.
I can go work out and do things. I'm a self-motivated person, so I can go out and go do, but you know what? Sometimes I need to just have other people to show me how to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys do this. This is what you do. This is what you do. So I'm going to go ahead and have the people do what they do, and then you guys can teach me along the way, and that's how the relationships will start creating, man. But I appreciate you guys thinking about me.
No, thank
Absolutely.
And we made it work.
And we made
And
it
we
work.
made it work.
And we made it work. I know you were getting in touch with me, and it was taking me a while to
Yeah,
get back.
that's okay. I got patience.
I know, man. I'm like, it's 2 weeks later. He's like, hey, Tay. And then 2 weeks later, I said, hey. And that's it. And then he's just like, hey. It's just like, it was just weird. I mean, and I'm just
you're
like,
both busy. It's
Yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah, man. I understand.
but I was definitely gonna get back, and I'm happy that I did. This is
man, I
this is
appreciate
what's
you.
up, man.
Why don't you just let the people know where to find you at, learn more about your camps. I know you got a documentary out. Just like let people know where to find you.
So you can find a lot of this stuff simply on tayfisher.com. All my programs are on there, from my leagues to my basketball camp to my basketball clinics to my trainings. Everything's on there, even to my motivational speaking stuff. tayfisher.com. To see my doc, which is amazing. At least I think it's amazing.
Tay, I enjoyed it. Just the story's great, the progression's great, learning about you is tremendous, but just the quality of the filming was, I didn't know what to expect, and I'm like, oh, this is like very, very well done.
It was very well done. You can also see that on my website as well, but there's an app called Hudsy, Hudsy. It's called Hudsy. It's pretty much like a local Netflix for the Hudson Valley, because I'm from Kingston. So it's about people's stories. And that doc was supposed to be 10 minutes long, and it ended up turning to 1 hour, and it won multiple awards. So to be honest with you, I'm happy that there is a doc on me, and I'm here to share it with people, and I'm not dead. I hate to say that, but when you think of docs that come out for people, we're remembering their life.
Right.
I am happy to say man, I'm here to see this, and I'm here to share it with my friends.
And there's still more to the story.
And there's still more to the story because they stopped right when I became a dad. But like, we already know that's just a new chapter about to start.
I text you. I said the end got me choked up, man. Yeah.
No, man, it's pretty serious. There's even things I never even my parents said, I didn't know, and I'm like, no, I mean, and if my parents say they didn't know, trust me, nobody else knows anything about me. So I encourage everybody to watch it. It's great. It will help you learn about me. It might even inspire your son or your daughter. But a portion of it goes to, the Hutzy for keeping their stuff going, and a portion of the money, because I think it's $10 to rent, $14 to purchase, goes to my basketball program. So again, it's for a great cause. Even if it wasn't, man, I'm just happy that I have that. I was home watching Cocomelon when they called me.
Cocomelon.
You know what I mean?
Shout out Cocomelon.
Shout out to Cocomelon. I'm like, hey, my phone rings and it's like, hi, is this Tay? Yeah. Hey, we would love to do it. And I was like, turn it down. And it was right around the time where it was like, but you never know what's going to happen. Every day's different, man. Yeah. I woke up to somebody wanting to do a doc on me. I woke up to the Globetrotters calling me. I woke up to this. Like, come on, man. Like, every day is different, and I'm very happy, man. And this is how I hope my life continues to grow, full of surprises and things of great people and great opportunities coming my way strictly off of the hard work that I've had in the past.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you. And I was thinking, too, I think we missed one, like, New York rapper of that era. I love that. We missed, Jay, play some Fabulous to end the show right here. How could we leave Fab out of all this? I was just thinking,
I got a playlist on my phone that's Dipset, The Locks, and Fab.
Yes.
Give us something right here, Jay.
It just all flows.
To end the show.
It was the shit.
Yeah, that's great, man.
Nelly.
Classic.
Come on,
Best
man.
era.
And you know what? Being with the Globetrotters allowed me to meet a lot of celebrities, because they will come to the games with their families, sit on the bottom. We will meet them after or at halftime. So, and it's just crazy because I can't go up to him and be like, oh my God, it's you, the Undertaker. Oh my God. I got to be very professional, and you start to realize, for example, the Undertaker, like, he's not moving slow. Like,
and he is gigantic.
And he is, you know what I mean? And they're saying to you, man, we grew up watching you guys. Man, you're my son's favorite Globetrotter or something. Just like, I can't believe this, man. Like, this is an awesome life, man. And then what I love about it is I was able to experience that and bring that home. Because there's some people in my community that never got a chance to get out the hood or never got a chance or whoever, but I'm able to share my experience with you guys. In return, that means we experienced it together. You know what I mean? Like, I love my path and my success is also off of other people's success. I'm not that person that hates on people, man. I'm like, man, you did that, man. That's so great, man. How can I help?
Yeah.
What can I do?
Yeah.
And I think you guys are creating that same path for me.
I appreciate it, man. That's how you grow. So, Tay, thanks for sharing your story and your experiences. And yeah, guys, Tay Fisher basketball camps, Firefly doc on Hutzy. Check it out.
TayFisher.com.
And
Go check it out.
Yeah, and and kids listening who are hip hop fans, go back to like early 2000s, late 90s. Yeah. We'll catch everybody next time. Thank you.
All right, take care.